Welcome to Mystic Realms Recap. Links are in the description below. Please show some love of the author and me. On to the show.
When Meng Ze was tossing and turning, he suddenly thought of something again. The Zerg must have come to attack with countless land troops, and of course, air combat troops must also be indispensable. But if it's a match like last time, why don't you take the initiative? I don't know why. Even the third-level mysterious level Zerg attack before, there was no real interstellar class. Barely counted, there is only one Yunda Mother Nest, which is still a non-attacking one. Meng Ze guessed correctly. Level 3 is the key transition period for the Zerg from the planet age to the interstellar age, and it is also the time when its interstellar strength is broken. At this time, the Zerg did not adapt to the changes in the interstellar battlefield, but simply used the planet arms as a means of interstellar warfare. If you reach the 4th level of the Zerg, then there will be a large number of new types that are truly comparable to the strength of space battleships. Meng Ze doesn't know what's going on, but he perceives the Zerg's weakness. This weakness may not be useful to others, but Meng Ze has a mine at home. In addition, he has always been a style of daring to fight. Thinking like this, he immediately sent out all his space assault ships and Aeolian assault ships. Although compared to space assault ships, the Fengtian assault ship can actually only be regarded as a star arm, and the attack power is far worse, but it cannot withstand its large number, a total of 300,000. One after another battleships of black hemp flew out of the void floating island, sailing towards the Zerg troops at high speed in normal space. Big guy, when are you going to fight the promotion battle? Meng Jun waited for a long time. Meng Ze did not make any movement here, and his survival extension card time was not much, so he was very anxious. I endured and endured, but I really couldn't hold back and send a message to Meng Ze. If Meng Ze has to wait a long time, he wants to go on the solo mission first to earn some points. The reason why I have to ask first is also because I am afraid that after doing so, the troops will be greatly damaged and there will be no time to replenish them. If the troops are too shabby when doing missions with Meng Ze, it may make the big guy doubt his character, and the gains outweigh the losses. Meng Jun didn't know. Meng Ze didn't expect him and a fierce man to make any soldiers. Both of them are struggling on the death line, haha. Even if they barely send troops, it is estimated that it is not enough Meng Ze to take a look. After receiving Meng Jun's message, Meng Ze's fleet happened to be dispatched, so Meng Ze sent him a coordinate directly. When Meng Jun saw the coordinates sent by Meng Ze, his first reaction was to casually give a long-range probe. Long-range detection is a short-term target detection that does not appear on the holographic map of the virtual reality, but appears on the large screen. So in the next moment, a vast fleet appeared on the big screen of Meng Jun. The size of the fleet is beyond the range of Meng Jun's long-range detection, and the display screen is full of screens. Meng Jun sprinkled several long-range probes in a row, and finally covered Meng Ze's fleet. Looking at the huge fleet size that he had never produced in his life, Meng Jun was so envious that his saliva was about to stay. Big guy, what are you doing here? While sending a message to Meng Ze, Meng Jun shared the picture he had just detected with a fierce man. Such a good thing as pink eye, of course, should be shared with friends. Meng Ze's message quickly returned. Promotion battle, don't worry, after this wave is completed, I will take you to do the task. Although the big guy uses the word belt, Meng Jun feels that there is no problem at all, and he is a thigh hugger. The big guy is mighty, waiting for the big guy to return victoriously. The big guy is worthy of being a big guy, and the promotion battle is actually not defensive, but directly to the Zerg to fight in the void, which is simply a bull comparison. On the other side, a fierce man sent a direct communication. You guy, honestly, what's the situation? Send me this kind of picture? But it's certainly not yours. It's just envious and jealous. 99. Haha. If you can't envy, this is the fleet of the Meng Ze boss. Just ask you if you are a cow or not. Although the fleet is not his own boss has consciously promoted to the position of a close little brother Meng Jun feels and honored. Cow of Tet Miao, in other words, Meng Jun. Don't you realize it? What? Meng Jun wondered. Meng Ze boss has only fought a life and death battle. You said that if he wants to build so many warships, how many spaceship yards does he need? The words of a fierce man were like a thunderbolt on a sunny day, shaking the cute soul and flying out. I haven't eaten pork and I've always seen pigs running away, and Meng Jun knows the speed at which other players build space battleships. That meow is like a difficult birth, and I can't hold a few ships a day or two. Some warships even take days to get out. I just saw that in the fleet of the big guy, the space assault ships are densely packed. How to say that there must be more than 1,000. And it is said that the arms of the Meng Ze bosses are still mysterious, although I don't know if the space battleship is for the time being, but with the layout of the big guys, no matter how bad it is, it will not be lower than the legendary. Thinking like this, Meng Jun was almost frightened by the demand for resources that day. How's that? Aren't you stunned? Ha ha. Tell you what, I was almost not scared to death when I first realized it. A fierce man is very satisfied with his friend's expression. This thing is indeed a little too outrageous. Meng Ze was previously known as the strongest in the new district, and to be honest, they didn't have much idea at first. Later, in a life and death battle, he was shocked by its strong combat power. This time, it was more than shock. No one had ever been able to smash tens of billions of resources in a wave just after promotion. This is the only one that the interstellar world has ever had. Momo, you say? With the level of a big guy, what can we do? Meng Jun, who had recovered, ignored his friend's ridicule and said with a gloomy face. A fierce man listened to this and also felt depressed, and it was really cool to hold the thigh of the powerful big guy. But the big guy is too strong. When the little brother can't find a sense of existence, is it to open his mouth to shout, "Big guy 666, Wang Qian?" What is the reason for the two struggling desperately on the death line? Of course, I don't want to be reduced to the same as those who have fallen behind. Both of them still have the dream of becoming the commander of the big guy, less than level 4, and they can't even participate in world missions. It is precisely because of such ambition that the two can become friends. There was silence for a long time, and only then did a fierce man speak. Meng Jun, don't think too much. Meng Ze big guy is our chance. Maybe we are useless, but as long as the big guy doesn't dislike it, I will follow him, do anything. I don't want to stay in the third level valley for the rest of my life. 39. In the eyes of uninformed people from the outside world, the interstellar world is an extremely rare game. But in the eyes of people who stay in the interstellar world all year round, this is their other professional life. The interstellar world is too realistic, and the resources here can really be used as money. There is no shortage of materials or anything, and many people may live in the interstellar world longer than the outside world. How about we help the big guy publicize the publicity? After a while, Meng Jun suddenly thought of this. His eyes lit up and said, "Playing games is naturally to be refreshing, and becoming a character in the game is naturally one of the sources of coolness, so Meng Jun will have this question. Meng Ze guy shouldn't need us to publicize him, right?" A fierce man hesitated. "Whether the big guy needs it or not, it's better for us to do something than nothing, but don't rush first. I'll test the attitude of the big guy first. Don't make it self-defeating," Meng Jun said. After that, Meng Jun sent a message to Meng Ze. "Big guy, you're the first in history to engage in a halfway volley in the promotion battle. How about making a video and showing it to everyone?" Meng Jun asked tentatively. Meng Ze was idle. On the Zerg side, because his fleet was preparing to volley halfway, Meng Ze did not toss them again. In case the Zerg really don't use curvature to sail, they have to use long-range detection to keep an eye on them, which is very troublesome. Meng Ze plans to wait until the two sides are close, and then force them out of the subspace and directly attack with a face. Receiving Meng Jun's message, Meng Ze thought, battlefield video is not expensive as long as the war starts. Releasing it should also have a certain effect on increasing your popularity. However, generally 680 said, battlefield videos are very long, and it looks boring without special editing, and Meng Ze is not good at this. It doesn't matter if you let it out, but the battlefield video is very boring. There shouldn't be a few people watching it, right? Meng Ze replied. Seeing the reply, Meng Juan's eyes lit up and there was a scene. If the big guy is relieved, let me edit it and keep it to show the majesty of the big guy. 35. Okay then, I'll send you the video when I'm done. There is something that the little brother obeys, and seeing that Meng Jun is willing to do it, Meng Ze can't ask for it. Anyway, even if there is no effect, he doesn't care. The effect is good. That is, sit back and enjoy it. How? Did the Meng Ze guy agree? A fierce man saw Meng Juan's face full of joy in the communication, and he had a guess in his heart. Haha, it's done. Do this well, and hold the big guy's thighs with peace of mind. Meng Jun said excitedly. Meng Jun, brother Meng, you have to take me. Don't get it alone. A fierce man immediately licked his face. Don't worry, I won't forget you, and the propaganda must be praised. More than an hour passed, AFDF. The Zerg side is finally close to Meng Ze's fleet. Meng Ze watched the positions of the two sides on the holographic projection while paying attention to the countdown of the brain's prompts. 3, 2, 1, space interferometer, full power. On the void floating island, with a low roar, a fluctuation that was difficult to see with the naked eye instantly spread. This fluctuation does not propagate from normal space, but directly into another space. In Sumi, all the spaces and subspaces within this fluctuating range are like a little snowflake on the TV screen. This bit of interference, not much, the normal space structure is solid, the impact is minimal. But the Zerg troops that were operating in subspace suffered again, as if they were hammered out of subspace. The outside world, less than 100 kilometers, is Meng Ze's space fleet, which has long been prepared. In the bow of all space assault ships, beams of light that had long been prepared shot out. Aim at the 10 lonely giant cloud mother nests. In order to better navigate in subspace, the Zerg packed all their troops in the Yunda mother nest and did not arrange any escort troops. Meng Ze's unexpected move hit the Zerg's dead hole. In fact, this is not to blame for the negligence of the Zerg, because the third-level Terrans do not have the ability to carry out subspace strikes at all. The power of the heavy ion main gun of the space assault ship is many times greater than the power of the original tank-heavy artillery. In order to ensure enough power, Meng Ze aimed all the main guns of the space assault ship at one of the clouds to attack by gathering fire. Countless not-so-small beams of light converged to form a huge pillar of light. Under one blow, it instantly punched through the Yunda mother nest. The head of the Zerg obviously knew that the situation was seriously unfavorable to him, but there was nothing he could do. Not to mention that it will take a certain amount of time for the Yunda mother nest to open the exit. Looking around, the Fengshan assault ship that surrounded it will obviously not give the Zerg a chance to send troops. Countless ion cannons and missiles rained down on the Yunda mother nest. Especially the exit port, which was taken care of, did not dare to open it at all. 30 seconds later, there was another huge pillar of light. The second Yunda mother nest was directly split in half. In this case, the Zerg couldn't even do it desperately, and no longer struggled senselessly, and prepared to escape with all their might. But how could Meng Ze possibly give it that chance? A few minutes later, on the battlefield, only the huge wreckage of the Zerg mother nest and the remains of countless bugs remained. The last struggle of those Zergs who crawled out of the wreckage of the Yunda mother nest did not even turn over the slightest wave. The war ended so quickly that even Meng Ze did not expect it. The whole 10 Yunda mother nest Zerg corps may not be more than when they were in a life and death battle, and they are definitely not much. But in less than 10 minutes, it became interstellar dust. At this moment, Meng Ze has a deep feeling for interstellar warfare. Unlike ground battles or floating island battles, interstellar wars are too cruel and have a much lower error tolerance, and the victory or defeat may be instantaneous. However, this aspect aside, Meng Ze also experienced the benefits of a strong fleet. Even if it is a space assault ship that was originally a gadget in his eyes, under the fire of nearly 2,000 ships, the attack power is so ferocious at night. After accurate calculation, the heavy ion main cannon, under the continuous firepower, the Yundu mother nest did not even have a chance to recover, and up to 10 million lives were instantly emptied, and even the insect swarm including loading. After a moment of silence, a little sorting out the gains and losses, Meng Ze began to make the fleet turn around, and casually packed the war video and sent it to Meng Jun. After Meng Jun received it, he did not take exclusive credit and first returned the message to Meng Ze. The video is received. The big guy, rest assured. I will do a good job of editing with a fierce man. Just do your best, don't stress anything. Meng Ze's words, Meng Jun will not take it seriously. Try your best is naturally to do your best, but the pressure will definitely be there, not small. If you edit the big guy's war video to shit, how do you let the big guy think? I hope the big guy plays well enough, otherwise this video will not be so easy to make. Gauze. Meng Ze sent a long video of the war to Meng Jun. It started with the Space Disturbance Observation Radar spotting the Zerg troops and ended with Meng Ze returning after fighting the fleet. Generally speaking, general war videos only collect content related to the course of the war. But in order to let the younger brother better complete the editing, Meng Ze added some of the content in the command center, but let the wisdom brain review and eliminate the sensitive data that may appear in the picture. When Meng Jun opened the war video, he was still a little confused. How did the opening show the command center of the big guy? Then the eyes focused on the hologram in the picture. Eileen, big guy, this detection range is a bit outrageous. The space observation building is absolutely mysterious. 35. Based on the location of his void floating island, Meng Jun easily estimated Meng Ze's space detection range. A few seconds later, a spot of light for the Zerg tribe troops appeared on the hologram. Look at the speed of movement. Yes, sailing in curvature is undoubted. Seeing this, Meng Jun's heart was full of tears, and curvature sailing undoubtedly requires real interstellar arms. But he was so hard that he couldn't even build a spaceship yard. Fortunately, when doing the mission, you only need to spend some crystal or to teleport to the mission area. If you rely on flight, he has no way to live with short legs. It started. I don't know what the big guy will do next. Meng Jun is full of expectations for the command of the big guy. At the speed of the Zerg, it should be 4 or 5 hours before the two sides will be in contact. It's just that the video doesn't seem to be that long. Could it be that the big guy didn't send it all? Meng Juanxin said. This is also possible. If the big guy fights hard, he may cut off part of the war process. Meng Jun is already thinking about how to edit to help the big guy plug this loophole and prevent others from seeing. Time went forward, and soon it was the part where Meng Ze tossed the Zerg troops. This is special. Is this special? Ha ha. How long is the head of the big guy? Ha ha. Meng Ze's commotion made Mo Jun lean forward and back with a smile. What is not said, even if the backplay is not exciting with this paragraph, this video will undoubtedly be popular. Meng Jun is full of confidence in this judgment. After that, it was the picture that Meng Jun had seen, the big guy's vast fleet attack. Even if I have watched it many times, the real impact of the video still makes Meng Jun feel trembling. This is what I want. This is what I want. Meng Jun's heart is boiling. For a long time later, it was the process of battleship sailing. Meng Jun kept fast-forwarding the playback, but seeing that the video was about to end, there was no picture of the two sides fighting. The big guy won't come over without the war process at all, right? If so, Meng Jun will make vinegar, and the war video will not be made at all. In the last 10 minutes, Meng Jun finished fast-forward and focused on the situation. In the video, holographic projections show that the Zerg forces are very close to Meng Ze's fleet. But until this time, neither side had begun to fight. The big guy won't solve the battle in a few minutes, right? A nonsensical thought appeared in Meng Jun's heart, but then he shook his head again. How is this kind of thing possible? The Zerg are not Chinese cabbage. They grow there and let people harvest at will. A few minutes later, Meng Jun's eyes were dull, and he collapsed on the commander's chair stupidly. The picture just now seems to still shine in the eyes. Sure enough, In the hands of the big guy, nothing is impossible. For a long time, Meng Ze let out a long breath. Instantly stood up, refreshed as if beaten with chicken blood. The big guy gave the most precious material, and I, Meng Ze, must not fail to live up to this painstaking effort. Reopen the video, select clips, edit, dub. Meng Ze devoted himself to the remake of the war video. He didn't even care that a fierce man sent him many messages and communications in a row. War video reproduction, if you want to do it well, even with the assistance of the wisdom brain, it is not so easy. 10 hours later, Meng Ze, whose eyes were red and people looked a little dull, slapped his hands heavily on the operating table and yelled, "It's done." Hours of video, eventually shortened to less than 10 minutes. But all the highlights are included, accompanied by either funny or passionate music. Relaxing, Meng Ze noticed a mouthful of communication from a fierce man. Hurried back in time. What are you doing here? Has it been sucked by someone? Seeing Meng Ze's state, a fierce man exclaimed. Although his mental state is relatively sluggish, Meng Ze's eyes are bright at this time. I was making a video for the big guy just now, waste some energy, don't talk nonsense, show you the effect and give advice. After Meng Ze finished speaking, he directly sent the finished video. A fierce man glanced at his friend. It seems that this time a lot of effort was invested, otherwise people would not be in this state, but I don't know how the effect of the video is. In less than 10 minutes, the video playback is complete. A fierce man supported the operating table with his hands, calming his mind. The front of the video is very interesting, but the scene of the ship's guns firing in unison at the end shocked him even more. 0. Asking for flowers. Not only for the unparalleled power of the space fleet's fire, but also for the whimsical tactical command of the Meng Ze boss. Let's just post the video, it's good enough. A fierce man said. Don't show the big guy first? Meng Ze wondered. No, let's surprise the big guy. A fierce man smiled and cracked his mouth. A few minutes later, a video appeared on the World Channel, Godlike Tactical Command. 117 Theater Boss Meng Ze 5 minutes to get the promotion battle. Then the 117 Warzone channel pinned an announcement with a video, Tactician, Big Guy Meng Ze 5 minutes to get the promotion battle. Countless players were intrigued by this sudden video. Especially the above-mentioned 5-minute promotion battle is outrageous. Point 0. I haven't watched the video yet. I'm ready to punch me in the face. 35. Liar's title party. If it really takes 5 minutes, I'm willing to call Meng Ze dad. Grass. What sensational titles also dare to take? Don't you want to mix in the interstellar world? I remember Meng Ze was the strongest newcomer in 320, right? Don't you think you're always awesome when you make the cut? Floated. Many people are not optimistic about this video, and even some are disgusted with the title party and directly say nothing. But soon, people who watched the video came forward. Have you seen the video? Just bark here. I would never like to call Meng Ze a master tactician. I thought it was a headline party. After reading it, I am now on my knees. Meng Ze dad, please accept me as an unfilial son. Oh, after so many years of living in vain, the space interferometer can still be used like this. 95. I said Meng Ze is a master tactician. Does anyone have an opinion? Second, you can also watch his life and death battle video. It's a stroke of magic, with a link. Master tactician. Line up below. A certain man who called a fierce man took the opportunity to speak. Master tactician. Master tactician. Master tactician. 35. Although there are also those who think that a few battles do not say anything. But this does not affect the recognition of most people, especially those with a large number of level 3 players with. Meng Ze's videos are all seen, right? Talk about it, what's the idea? In the video conference, Dream Starry Night Glow said faintly, Colonel, I think Meng Ze can be included in the reserve commander list in advance, and after some time to confirm, if the performance is still outstanding, I recommend that he be promoted to full commander in advance. The speaker was Lieutenant Colonel Winchi, one of the reserve commander selection officers of the Imperial Federation in the interstellar world. Winchi is not a direct subordinate of Phantom Star Nightglow. His boss is the one-star General Liu Chang, who is responsible for the allocation and placement of rookie commanders, which is the means by which the Imperial Federation balances the most important commander training base in the interstellar world. Because of this, Winchi's words will feel more fair. Of course, Winchi is indeed bullish on Meng Ze. I don't think Meng Ze is excellent, but according to the procedure, we can take the 680 inspection in advance, but we cannot grant the status of commander in advance. Moreover, Meng Ze himself is only a third-level one, and his record is not fully representative of interstellar wars. So my advice is to focus on it, wait until he is level 5, and then consider promotion. Lieutenant Colonel Fei Shirshi, a third-class lieutenant colonel who was also one of the reserve commander selection officers, immediately spoke. The words of Winchi and Fei Shirshi are more representative, and several subsequent commanders have spoken one after another, but they are generally attributed to two views. One is that excellent talents can be promoted without any restrictions, and the other is to follow procedures and conduct more investigations. But everyone spoke and acknowledged Meng Ze's excellence. Meng Ze was directly added to the expedition list by Phantom Star Nightglow, which everyone knows, and no one will criticize Meng Ze's ability. Moreover, Meng Ze's own record is truly amazing. During the arguing of these people, Dream Star Nightlight did not say a word. There is nothing wrong with both opinions. The main thing is to see how to consider. Compared to Winchi, Fei Shirshi's opinion is actually more in line with the idea of Dream Star Nightglow. Many people present did not know that Fei Shirshi's promotion was arranged by the Huang family behind Dream Star Yahweh. But the time is not waiting, and the Imperial Federation needs commanders. As for Winchi, perhaps because the Empire frequently transferred commanders, he felt a sense of urgency. After thinking about it for a while, Dream Star Nightlight knocked on the operating table, and everyone in the meeting suddenly fell silent. Although we are here to discuss Meng Ze's arrangement, I believe you also understand that this is also a discussion on the change of the way commanders are selected in the future. Everyone here knows that the Empire urgently needs commanders, and the step-by-step selection is stable, but it cannot meet the needs of the Empire at all. 99. However, it is not a good thing to be too promising. Based on everyone's opinions, I suggest that based on the existing list of commanders, the next world mission is used as an examination field. All commanders in the list are investigated, and the outstanding performance is carried out according to the evaluation, and the corresponding super promotion is carried out. Dream Star Nightglow finished speaking, looking at the others. Seconded. Winchi took the lead. Seconded. 39 Fei Shirshi said. Seconded. 35. After the meeting, Fei Shirshi sent a communication to Dream Star Nightglow. Colonel, why don't you let Meng Ze directly become the official commander? Fei Shirshi asked, puzzled. It stands to reason that among all of them, the one who is most optimistic about Meng Ze should be the Dream Star Nightglow. He's not ready. Dream Star Night, we said, not only in military command, but also in mentality. Meng Ze's feeling to Dream Star Nightglow has always been that he does not fear the identity of the commander from the bottom of his heart, and it seems to be a bit of a game-human mentality. If it were someone else, Dream Star Nightglow might think it was ignorant of the interstellar world, but Meng Ze wouldn't. His family background determined that even if he just came in with a playful mentality, someone would tell him the importance of the interstellar world. But who would have thought that Meng Ze would actually be an imposter? Even the information about the interstellar world, Meng Ze knows from -90 degrees. And this time, Fei Shirshi wanted to know the colonel's specific thoughts. I have already told him in advance whether I can seize the opportunity and see for himself. Dream Starry Nightglow. After the last difficult matter of transferring personnel, the top level of the Imperial Federation has decided to speed up the selection of commanders, and this world mission has become the best examination venue. If you have a good record, you can even get more promotions. This is where the opportunity that Dream Star Nightlight is talking about. The sequence of commanders of the Imperial Federation is also hierarchical. It is also level 1 to 6, but the meaning of this level 1 to 6 is fundamentally different from level 1 to 6 in the interstellar world. The commander of the 1st to 6th levels of the interstellar world is not only in terms of identity, but also represents the technological level of your base. However, the commanders of the Imperial Federation at levels 1 to 6 represent the commander's command ability, the maximum command authority he can obtain, and the size of the legion he has. Because he became the commander of the Imperial Federation, the battleships and marine legions that were paired with him were all the technological crystallization of the 6th level civilization. It is also impossible for the Imperial Federation to deliberately lower the level of science and technology to build 4th and 5th level warships. The production mode of the Imperial Federation can be different from that of the Zerg. The Zerg downgraded production can reduce consumption, and the Imperial Federation downgrades production, resulting only waste. Become the 1st level commander of the Imperial Federation, and the Empire will equip it with 1,000 warships of different classes, which can only be responsible for the war command and dispatch of the small galaxy level. The 2nd level commander of the Imperial Federation, who can command 10,000 warships of different classes, is responsible for the war command of the large galaxy level. The 3rd level commander of the Imperial Federation can command 100,000 to 1,000,000 warships of different levels, and can be responsible for the command of the war at the star field level. Commanders of the 3rd rank and below have no other commander scheduling authority, and even reserve commanders cannot be transferred. The 4th level commander of the Imperial Federation can command millions to tens of millions of warships of different levels, and can undertake the war command at the star region level and the dispatch of subordinate commanders in the corresponding regions. The 5th level commander of the Imperial Federation can command tens of millions to hundreds of millions of warships of different levels, and can undertake the war command from the large star region level to the small river system level and the dispatch of the subordinate commanders of the corresponding regions. The 6th level commander of the 3.5 states of the Imperial Federation can command warships of more than 100 million levels, and is mainly responsible for the war command of the large river system and the dispatch of subordinate commanders in the corresponding regions. With the exception of battleships, land arms are not counted. For the Empire, the land arms are more or less a consumable tool of war. In addition to the slightly more difficult to manufacture superlarge warships, small and medium-sized warships can produce millions per day at will in the Imperial Federation, and if the war requires it, they can increase production tenfold and hundredfold at any time. This is the horror of advanced civilization. But the tools of war can be mass-produced, but not commanders, who need not only talent, but also loyalty and a sense of belonging to the Imperial Federation. Therefore, compared to battleships, commanders are the most precious wealth of advanced civilizations. Meng Ze did not pay attention to the excitement of the Warzone channel and the World channel, let alone the meeting of Dreamstar Nightglow. However, he received a message from AKA expressing satisfaction with Meng Ze's fame campaign. Meng Ze immediately praised his 2 new brothers. Unknown Spacetime Node. The flow of information that is not visible in the eyes of ordinary people, in the eyes of Akka, is like a galaxy converging, in some unknown way, little by little, engraved on a broken diamond-shaped spar. In the eyes of 8th-level civilizations, the universe is composed of countless information. Information tracing and information imprinting are the means to control the subworld. AKA himself can't do this, but fortunately, he already has most of the core of the interstellar world. Engrave Meng Ze's imprint into the interstellar world and help Meng Ze control it, that is, to help Meng Ze grow, but also to help himself. What Akka needs is a process, from cause to effect, until the reverse effect is the cause. Meng Ze's side can't see much change yet, but everything will come naturally with time. Void Floating Island 05. Meng Ze's spaceship yard is non-stop in production, and the number of spaceship yards is gradually increasing. This time, the attack power of the space assault ship has been demonstrated, and Meng Ze also knows where his advantage lies. It's not how good his strategic thinking or how high his tactical command ability is. Meng Ze's biggest advantage is that he has money. Although there are reasons for the excellent use of tactics in this battle with the Zerg, the more important thing is that the firepower is fierce. If you just rely on the Fengshan assault ship, although there is a high probability of victory in the end, it is definitely not so easy. Combined with what he's going to do, brush up on points, Meng Ze thinks he needs more space assault ships. The void floating island does not have a planetary force field, and the firepower of the battleship can be directly poured onto it. That's a big plus for Meng Ze. For the upcoming team task with his little brother, Meng Ze already has a perfect idea in mind. After more than half a day, Meng Ze finally started sending messages to Meng Jun and a fierce man. The three of them set up a team channel. "Big guy, when do we leave?" Meng Jun couldn't wait for a long time. He only has 3 days left in the survival extension card, and the fire is almost burning to his eyebrows. If it hadn't been for Meng Ze's letter of approval before, he might have gone it alone long ago. Hearing Meng Jun's question, a fierce man also looked at Meng Ze with a hopeful face, and for the first time he mixed with the big guy, slowly feeling a sense of expectation. "Go and prepare now. Start in half an hour. Is there any problem?" Meng Ze said. "No problem," the two younger brothers said in unison. "Well, let's try to do 10 or 8 tasks today." Meng Ze smiled and cheered. The two younger brothers looked at each other. "The big guy hasn't done a task, so you don't know the difficulty of the task, right?" "I think so." On the surface, he was silent and promised to come down. Anyway, as long as there is a war, the big guy may not be so optimistic. Meng Jun went back and pulled out all the troops he had stored for a long time, all of them loaded in transport assault ships. Regardless of the quality, the number is quite imposing, and there are tens of thousands of transport assault ships full. The troops contained inside are millions to say the least. However, they are mostly motorized infantry. The escort is also the Fengshan assault ship. Not only the number is more than 10,000, the level is only a rare level, and, more importantly, there is no shield. Planet-level troops, with the shield technology of the Imperial Federation, can be popularized to the level of the Air Force and heavy troops until the 4th level. Because the motorized infantry is not taken seriously, there is no energy shield up to level 5. Meng Ze is unique here so far. 90 degrees below zero is only a level 4 shield, but it can achieve an effect comparable to level 5. The situation of a fierce man is similar to that of Meng Jun. The two are difficult brothers, and no one needs to be much better. Half an hour later, the team channel was re-established. "Are you all ready?" Meng Ze asked. The big guy, rest assured, they are all ready, and they will look forward to the big guy together. 35, Meng Jun said. "We will do whatever the big guy says, and today we are also following the big guy." A fierce man also hurriedly said. "It's a very upright attitude," Meng Ze nodded. "I have already agreed with you before. The points belong to me. The resources are given to you, of course. I know that you may have a problem with survival. The first task I will share 1,000 points among you, and then only resources will be taken. Is there any objection?" Although I believe that Meng Jun and a fierce man will not have any opinions, Meng Ze also said these things ahead. "No opinion, just assign the big guy." "I have no problem either." "Okay, let's start the mission now." Meng Ze clicked on the point system and chose the team task. There are 4 types of team tasks: easy tasks, normal tasks, difficult tasks, and extremely difficult tasks. The corresponding ones are the lowest 3-player missions, followed by 5-player missions, 10-player missions, and 20-player missions. 20 players participate, which is the upper limit of the mission. However, these missions do not mean that you must reach the maximum number of players to participate, but only need to reach the number of people offline. Just like Meng Ze, there are only 3 people, but all 4 missions can be selected. But if the number of people is less than 3, it cannot form a team and no task can be done. Out of an abundance of caution, Meng Ze chose only 5 players for the first time. In his mind, his strength alone should be worth 3 Meng Ze should have no problem. In this case, the mission of 5,680 people cannot be passed. Not only Meng Ze is confident, but even Meng Ze and a fierce man don't think there's anything wrong with it. The mission is selected, and then each selects the unit to enter the mission within 5 minutes. There is no limit to this amount. However, a corresponding fee will need to be paid according to the number of troops transmitted. In this regard, players in the interstellar world have already figured out a set of calculation formulas. Meng Ze naturally doesn't need it. Meng Ze and a fierce man, in order to be a little noodle in front of the big guy, did not care about these this time. Because it had already been prepared, it didn't take a minute for all 3 of them to complete the confirmation. All the selected troops were immediately enveloped in some kind of field. Since the greater the number of troops, the greater the area that needs to be covered by the field. In order to ensure that the troops of the 3 people teleport at the same time, the teleportation points in different positions need to be synchronized. Meng Ze's troops here are a little more than 100 million, so this time it was not good to synchronize for 3 minutes. I wipe. How many troops did the big guy bring? Meng Ze, who had experience in many missions, quickly noticed that this teleportation time was a little too long. Don't think about it, it must be a problem on the big guy's side. A fierce man is also looking forward to it, and the longer the synchronization time, it means that the more troops the big guy has, and the easier it will definitely be to wait for the next task. Finally, the field in front of him was instantly distorted, and all the troops disappeared. On the big screen, a new switchable location then appears. When Meng Ze chooses that location, the holographic projection of the virtual reality suddenly changes. In the center is a lonely void floating island, and the Meng Ze 3-man legion appears 1,000 kilometers away from the void floating island. This one is not close or far, a few hours away. However, it also leaves room for the Zerg to choose to take the initiative or defend. When Meng Ze was looking at the battlefield, the 2 younger brothers were already stunned by the lineup of Meng Ze Deluxe Edition. The lineup for the previous promotion battle was luxurious enough, but after only half a day, Meng Ze's fleet more than doubled. Big guy, how many spaceship yards do you have? A fierce man stuttered a little when he spoke. I'll take a look, it's almost 200. Meng Ze and a fierce man were speechless. This gap is bigger than 1 heaven and 1 earth. Meng Ze didn't have much scruples about the 2 of them, and he was in a hurry. I'll go first, and you'll follow. 35. With an order, Meng Ze's fleet set sail directly. Because all of the planet-class forces are housed inside the comet carriers, Meng Ze's fleet looks like only space assault ships and motherships. Compared with planet-level troops, space assault ships used for interstellar navigation are extremely fast. Even if they are motherships, after acceleration, the maximum speed is much faster than that of planet-level Air Force units. This difference was discovered in the previous promotion battle Meng Ze, but at that time, because there was no mothership, in order to take care of the speed of the Fengshan assault ship, the speed of the entire fleet slowed down. This time actually controlling the interstellar-class fleet voyage, Meng Ze also found more differences with the planet-class air forces. To put it simply, planet-level classes accelerate quickly and have high flexibility, but have a low speed ceiling. The interstellar fleet, according to the size and performance of the fleet, accelerates quickly and slowly, but it is not comparable to the planet-level troops, such as the Fengshan assault ship, a combination of Wager fighters and Ghost fighters, and the steering is not so flexible. The advantage is that it can be continuously accelerated, and the maximum speed can reach a very high level. Originally expected to take 3 or 4 hours, Meng Ze's space assault ship arrived in less than an hour. Even the mothership was left behind by him. As for Meng Ze and a fierce man, the transport assault ship of the 2 is more like a tractor, and they have not even completed a quarter of the way until now. At this time, on the void floating island, the air arms of the Zerg have not yet completed gathering. Seeing this, Meng Ze didn't even have the desire to command. Directly let the fleet attack freely. The main gun attack range of the space assault ship exceeded 500 kilometers. At this time, Meng Ze's fleet was no more than 100 kilometers from the floating island. The whole attack process is like plowing the ground with a beam, sweeping forward little by little. From beginning to end, none of the Zerg could get close to the attack range. It took more than an hour for Meng Ze's fleet to clean up the entire void floating island. And then, Meng Jun, who were still 2 hours away, received a prompt. Dear Commander, you have successfully completed the task of clearing the Zerg void floating island, and the mission issuer will recover the void floating island and give a reward of 10 million resources and 5,000 points, and the mission reward will be distributed by the team leader. 35. Please choose whether to return immediately. Let's go. Hurry up for the next trip. Meng Ze's words came, and the two younger brothers were speechless, and this task was done too easily. Exiting the mission, Meng Jun and a fierce man receive a mission reward assigned by Meng Ze, each with 1,000 points and 5 million resources. Seeing these rewards, Meng Jun and the two looked at each other, and they both had a feeling of tears in their eyes. It has been too much hardship to understand the preciousness of this opportunity. Although he didn't say anything, his gratitude to Meng Ze and his heart was incomparable. Since the first mission was too easy, Meng Ze chose the 10-player version of the difficult mission for the second time. The difficult mission is similar to the normal task, but the void floating island is larger, and the Zerg you face has changed from rare level to legendary level. But in front of Meng Ze, there is no difference. The result is still to plow through little by little with the fire of the fleet. This time the cleanup took more than 2 hours. Although there is more time to clean up, but counting the time to rush, difficult tasks are still more cost-effective than ordinary tasks. As for the more advanced extremely difficult missions, Meng Ze did not plan to try it for the time being, and according to the situation, it should be dealing with a mysterious Zerg on a fairly large scale. Whether you can fight or not, the time consumed will definitely not be less. Meng Ze is not expected to be cost-effective. This mission Meng Jun and the two still ended in the run, and then the resources they harvested each shared 10 million, and Meng Ze didn't want it at all, only took 10,000 points. After coming out, Meng Ze said to them, "Wait for you to bring no troops, just bring a transport plane, save some money." Big guy this. Both of them were quite embarrassed. "It's okay, I know your situation, and you have also seen the process of doing the task. There is no difference whether you bring it or not. Today I will take you to brush the difficult task. I will go to rest when I have done 10, and then continue tomorrow." 35 Meng Ze waved his hand. Meng Jun could see that Meng Ze was sincerely thinking about them, and he was even more moved in his heart, nodding and agreeing. The rest of the time is spent brushing the team's difficult quests again and again. Each trip harvests 10,000 points and 20 million resources. Meng Ze points are all taken. No resources are needed. The whole journey down, each trip consumes less than 4 hours. Meng Jun feels that this is his happiest day. The whole process only needs to make up a number, hit the sauce, Wang Qian's, oil, and then watch the big guy hang all kinds of fancy hanging bugs and shout 666 next to him by the way. Brush to the back, Meng Ze is simply hard to see. Let the wisdom brain automatically brush monsters according to the process, just like hanging up. Lying comfortably in the commander's chair, drinking a drink. Meng Ze, who was in a good mood watching the increase in points, even tasted the food of the Imperial Federation. The taste is indeed not bad, but the mushy paste shape really makes Meng Ze feel like eating. Meng Ze also asked Meng Jun and the two, they actually don't eat this. The corresponding materials can be bought on the world market. There can be customized menus, and G-Brain can make them according to the menu. But Meng Ze can't buy it and I can't say it. Can only break teeth and swallow blood in the admiring eyes of the younger brothers, saying that to experience the real life of a commander, this taste of interstellar food is a necessary step. After the last brush, Meng Ze divided the resources among the two younger brothers, and each of them shared 1,500 more points. The little brothers are naturally overjoyed to get points. Meng Ze here, seeing the complete 100,000 points also feel very pleasant. After the big guy left, Meng Ze connected with a fierce man. The big guy had to be reserved when he was there, and now the two laughed and tears fell. Meng Ze, today is our lucky day. A fierce man choked up. As long as you follow the big guy, it will be in the future. Oh, the other day I felt that I was probably dead this time. Even if I don't die this time, next time, it will never end. 5. Yes, now that I have the money to build a spaceship yard, I want to build a legendary level 1. The legendary spaceship yard needs 100 million, which is not counting the price of the drawings, so the bold words of a fierce man cannot be realized for the time being. Meng Ze did not laugh at his friend's self-help. Who does not want a high-level spaceship yard, even he himself? The mysterious class spaceship yard is not something they can think. Even if 683 can afford to build, it is not something they can afford to build later. The legendary level is the highest ideal of the two. At present, this situation is not impossible. Looking at the meaning of Meng Ze boss, it is estimated that brushing points is definitely not a temporary move. Then it cannot be brushing for 1 or 2 days, a month or 2 months, or even possible. Then he and a fierce man will not follow suit. Speaking of how far to go, Meng Ze didn't dare to think about it, but he might be able to make himself have the possibility of advancing to the 4th level. Meng Ze came out of the interstellar world. There were messages about Luo Wei and Zhang Lingling on his mobile phone, and some chatted for a while, so he cleaned up and went to sleep. Meng Ze doesn't know why AKA wants him to sleep at Blue Star, and he has used 3 mysterious strengthening gene reagents. It stands to reason that the energy should be very vigorous, not so easy to sleep, why sleep is still so much. And even many times you can sleep if you want to. But this kind of thing, AKA is not willing to say, and he thinks about it in vain. Closing his eyes, Meng Ze quickly fell asleep. Between sleeps, the wisps of information flow along a mysterious silk line or fluctuation, are transmitted to the space-time node where AKA is located. Slowly blend in and make the place stable. Meng Ze's thoughts just now, AKA also felt, but there was no need to explain. He is now in the same boat as Meng Ze, and if he is exposed, Meng Ze will surely die too. The existence of the two will be directly erased by the civilization where AKA was originally located. Even more than 2 people, blue stars, solar systems will even be erased. For the original civilization, this is not even much more difficult than erasing the pencil handwriting with an eraser. However, as the reinforcement takes longer and longer, the safety of AKA is now greatly guaranteed. Because of this, he can do more and more. However, if you want more freedom, you may have to wait until after that day. Thinking like this, AKA's gaze looked at the mutilated crystal nucleus in front of him. The next morning, Meng Ze started his own points again. With 2 younger brothers, it took less than 30 hours to brush the 10th mission. At this time, Meng Ze's fleet was getting bigger and bigger, and the number was close to 10,000. He doesn't bring a mothership now, and he can easily wipe out the Zerg's void floating island by relying on the space assault ship. Soon, the task prompt arrived. Dear Commander, you have successfully completed the task of clearing the Zerg void floating island, and the mission issuer will recover the void floating island and give a reward of 20 million resources and 10,000 points, and the mission reward will be distributed by the team leader. 99. Under normal circumstances, AFDF, the task prompt should end here. But today is different. Dear Commander, since you have completed more than 10 rounds of clearance tasks for 2 consecutive days, the difficulty of your next clearance mission will increase. Will you continue? To continue is definitely to continue, and Meng Ze will not be satisfied with the gain of 100,000 points per day. After talking to the 2 younger brothers, the 2 naturally did not have the slightest objection. After the mission is carried out again, the automatic upgrade of the mission becomes an extremely difficult task for 20 people. But even so, Meng Ze is still difficult. It's just that out of prudence, Meng Ze brought his mothership, which was full of Aeolian assault ships. Meng Ze's caution works, and the extremely difficult quests not only reach the mysterious level of the Zerg, but also have a greater number than imaginable. Even under the main guns of nearly 10,000 space assault ships, the Zerg Devourers can still rely on the number and depth of other air arms to pave a way for life. Meng Ze first chose to fight and retreat using kite tactics. When the mothership arrived, hundreds of thousands of Fengshan assault ships poured out, withstanding the onslaught of the Zerg in front, and the space assault ships were desperately exporting in the back. The whole battle was fought for nearly 5 hours. This time, Meng Ze's fleet finally suffered casualties. Among them, the space assault ship accidentally lost 2, and the Fengshan assault ship lost more than 50,000. But the harvest is also very good, 50,000 points, 50 million resources. Meng Ze allocates resources between Mo Jun and a fierce man, neither of whom has opted in to receive. Big guy, you didn't lose before, and we accepted it cheekily, but we can't ask for resources this time. Meng Jun said solemnly. Big guy, what Meng Jun said makes sense. We have been messing with you for 10 rounds today, and after that, let's make up the numbers, and then we will not be stable in our hearts. 35. The words of the 2 younger brothers were quite heartwarming to hear, but Meng Ze still waved his hand and said, It is yours who said that it is for you. Since you call me the big guy, I will listen to my arrangement. Besides, 50 million may be a lot for you, but to me, it's nothing. Don't think it's useless if you don't do it. I asked you to do the task together, although there is also the intention of taking care of it, but you don't also save me a lot of trouble, rest assured. It's just a count, what kind of trouble, a bite of what a fierce man still wants to say. Meng Jun stopped him. Listen to the big guy. 35. Thank you, guy. Well, hurry up and move on to the next round. This time let Meng Ze experience the feeling of not enough battleships again, and there are still a lot of resources in hand. Meng Ze calculated and arranged the construction plan of 60 spaceship yards. Then the airfield on the floating island was started again to replenish the Aeolian assault ship. In the second round, Meng Ze adjusted the fleet configuration and added a large number of science ships. Although the battle was still long, the damage rate of the Fengshan assault ship dropped significantly. Then the third round, the fourth round. After 10 rounds, a new hint came. Respected Commander, today you have completed 10 rounds of extremely difficult clearance tasks. Because of your outstanding record, you will be issued a more difficult clearance mission later. May I ask you accept? Meng Ze first read the no-no prompt, and if he refused, then today's task, even if it is over. Choosing to accept, Meng Ze takes his 2 younger brothers and enters the difficulty space of missions that do not exist in the points system. In this difficulty, the Zerg finally appeared in the interstellar class, the Void Corruptor and the Multi-Eyed Worm. The volume of the Void Corruptor is much larger than that of the space assault ship. The length is almost 500 meters, and the attack method is to spray out a green corruption liquid at a super high speed. This corruption liquid corruption ability is super amazing. Even the void space seems to be able to erode through. If the void has a sound, it seems to be able to hear its sound. Fortunately, this corrupting liquid does not seem to exist for a long time, and after it shoots out of the Void Corruptor's body, it will dissipate all the way. But even so, the attack distance of the Void Corruptor is thousands of miles. The presence of this class makes Meng Ze the weaker side of the attacking distance. As for the Multi-Eyed Eyeworm, it is a support class that seems to be able to use some kind of ability to build an energy field. This energy field deflects the laser weapon and weakens the power of the heavy ion cannon. These 2 Zergs attacked and defended, cooperated tacitly, and Meng Ze did not understand the first contact, and Meng Ze suffered a big loss as soon as the war began. The Void Corruptor's corruption liquid is attached to the energy shield and will continue to corrode the shield until it erodes through it or dissipates clean. At first, Meng Ze didn't know how to deal with it until he accidentally observed that when the shield broke, the corruption liquid would stay in place because of the kinetic energy dissipating, and Meng Ze suddenly realized. After that, Meng Ze switched to the rotational attack method of space assault ships, and when the space assault ship in front encountered a large amount of corrosion liquid, it changed to the rear formation, turned off the shield, and reopened in the transfer position to remove the corruption liquid. But there is a risk that the shield will disappear temporarily. Most of Meng Ze's late space assault ship losses were caused at this time. But compared to the initial hard resistance, the damage is still much lower. The fighting lasted for a long time. Fortunately, there are not many of these two types of troops, neither of them is more than 100. In the end, Meng Ze still relied on the numerical advantage to gather fire attacks and explode them one by one. Meng Ze suffered heavy losses in this battle, with more than 100,000 function assault ships damaged, more than 10,000 scientific spacecraft, and more than 300 space assault ships lost in the first battle, which is still when Meng Ze has considerable force superiority. This round, more than 10 hours later, Meng Ze completed the final clearance. But the harvest of this battle is also great, 200,000 points and 200 million resources. Seeing the tragic situation of the big guy, no matter what Meng Ze said this time, Meng Jun and a fierce man were determined not to do anything. Just like Meng Jun said, to be a person must have self-knowledge, and the two of them should consider the big guy for the younger brother, and they can only be good when the big guy is good. Meng Ze agreed. He insisted only because of commitment first. However, this time he lost more than 3 billion, which is a great wave of blood. Coupled with the fact that a large number of space shipyards have just been put down, the resources at home cannot be connected in a short time. Fortunately, Meng Ze's family has enough troops, and after this time, the battleships produced on the floating island not only made up for the number of space assault ships lost, but also increased a lot. The number of function assault ships was also replenished. As for scientific spaceships, no new ones are made, but there are still quite a few at home. After some inventory and additions, Meng Ze felt he was doing it again. At this moment, Meng Jun asked, "Big guy, do you want to continue to do the task?" "How, you have something?" Meng Ze was stunned, thinking that Meng Jun had something to do. In that case, maybe the task could only be put away. "No. Just looking at the big guy's loss just now, ask the big guy's plan." "It has been replenished. There are still a lot more. As long as you are careful, there should be no problem in continuing to do the task," Meng Ze said. Sure enough, the second round of the war began, and Meng Jun and the two found that the number of Meng Ze's warships was not decreasing but increasing, and they were speechless. Ask for flowers. Billions of losses seemed to exist in the big guy. This time, because he found a way to deal with it, Meng Ze's loss was only half that of the first time, and the time was also shortened by several hours. Mission accomplished. Go out and replenish the battleships. Come in with more battleships. In the eyes of Meng Jun and a fierce man, Meng Ze is so simple and rude to do tasks. The more battleships fight, the fewer they lose and the less time they consume. After 10 rounds, the two melon-eating masses looked at the prompts given by the task and habitually waited to enter the task space again. But I saw Meng Ze waving his hand and said, "If you don't fight today, the difficulty will be escalated in the next round. Even if you can fight, the loss is too big and not worth it." 5. Then he divided the last round of 200 million resources to the two and said, "You have worked hard today. Tomorrow I will brush the task. Are you coming?" The younger brothers immediately said, "Big guy, on call," nodded and hung up the communication. Meng Ze points to open the points system, up to 2.7 million points. Meng Ze used all his points to expand the void floating island, which reached a plane diameter of 2,270 kilometers. At this time, the real world was already past 11 o'clock. In the middle of the brush minute, Meng Ze also received a message from Luo Wei, intentionally or unconsciously talking about tomorrow's weekend. This is something that Meng Ze naturally will not forget. Meng Ze simply calculated that today's 3-round mission took him almost 16 hours in the real world. Tomorrow, I don't know if the mission will start at the difficult level or extremely difficult. However, Meng Ze decided to get up early and do a wave of tasks first, in case it was 3 batches, and try not to waste as much as possible. Meng Ze mentally told AKA about his arrangements and arranged a wake-up mission for him. Regardless of Aker's response, he fell into bed and quickly fell asleep. Aker, who is busy at an unknown space-time node, is quite speechless, which is used as an alarm clock. Forget it, for your sake in the past 2 days of such hard work. With this in mind, AKA decided to smoke less tonight so that Meng Ze could maintain enough energy tomorrow. At 4 o'clock the next day, AKA called Meng Ze up as promised. Despite waking up early, Meng Ze doesn't feel any lack of energy. Directly into the interstellar world, a greeting, the 2 little brothers immediately responded. Immediately form a group to start the mission. As expected, this time the Meng Ze trio could only choose to start with an extremely difficult mission. After nearly 5 hours in the real world, Meng Ze has more than 1,000 more space assault ships, plus the size of the previous 13,000 warships. Fighting the void floating island, which is extremely difficult, is like chopping melons and cutting vegetables. In less than 30 hours, 10 rounds of extremely difficult tasks were completed. Meng Ze saw that there was still time and simply did 2 more rounds of super difficult tasks. When he came out in the early 8, Meng Ze finished his personal hygiene as quickly as possible, did not eat breakfast, and went out directly. Guandi sped through the traffic. As Meng Ze became more proficient, coupled with his explosive physical fitness and reflexes, Guandi was nimble like a loach even in the midst of heavy traffic. Oh! The car stopped sharply in front of the 2 beautiful girls of 683. Huh. Two. Seeing the grinning Zhang Lingling, Meng Ze felt a toothache. This Zhang Lingling was also quite clever before, so why don't she have any consciousness as a matchmaker now? It is said that the newcomer entered the cave room matchmaker through over the wall, although he and Luo Wei did not enter the cave room, but it is already a confirmed boyfriend and girlfriend relationship. Why are you Zhang Lingling still following? Of course, the above Meng Ze can only think. Obviously depressed to death, I have to make a welcoming look. Brother Zhao Bai, are you unhappy to see me? Zhang Lingling asked with a smile. How come? It's been a long time, Lingling. Meng Ze pretended not to care. Of course, for a long time, a certain forgetful girl left me alone to meet her boyfriend last week. I remember this. Zhang Lingling said, looking at Luo Wei and then at Meng Ze. This is a snake with a stick. The topic is not right. A stirring spirit in his heart, seeing his girlfriend's embarrassed look, Meng Ze hurriedly said, Get in the car quickly. This place is not good to park for a long time. Compensate you well today. That's about the same. Zhang Lingling didn't really want to do anything and immediately accepted it when she saw it. She also doesn't know what's wrong with her. Obviously, the relationship between Vivi and Xiao Bai is still self-promoted, but when she knows that the 2 are alone and did not take her, she will be inexplicably uncomfortable. And when the 3 of them are together, even if Vivi and Meng Ze make out in person, although they are psychologically envious, they will not feel uncomfortable. This mentality confused Zhang Lingling herself. Did she hope or not want Vivi to be with Xiao Bai? This time on the weekend, Zhang Lingling squeezed Luo Wei with words in advance, so that Luo Wei had to take the initiative to invite her to come with her. When getting into the car, I don't know what psychology was. Zhang Lingling took the initiative to push her girlfriend to the co-driver and sat alone in the back. Although it was different from the expected world of the 2, the 3 of them did not feel estranged, and they chatted happily along the way. Where do you want to go? Meng Ze asked. Luo Wei looked at her girlfriend and did not answer. Zhang Lingling thought for a while and said, Or let's go to the supermarket to buy vegetables, go to Xiao Bai's house to cook at noon, and I've been to everything else I want to go, and I don't want to play for the time being. After speaking, he looked at Luo Wei and said, What do you think of Wei Wei? Luo Wei nodded in agreement. As long as the girl in love can be with the person she likes, it doesn't matter where she goes. Lingling's suggestion is a good idea, and you can also experience the feeling of living at home with Xiao Bai in advance. Thinking of this, the girl's delicate face couldn't help but heat up. I made a lot of shopping in the supermarket and bought a cart full of carts. Originally, it was to buy vegetables and cook, but in the end, it came out and most of the car was snacks. Meng Ze, who took two beautiful girls to the supermarket, also experienced the envious and jealous eyes of his male compatriots. Coming to the Jingyuan community again, this is the third time Luo Wei and Zhang Lingling have come to Meng Ze's house, and they can barely be regarded as familiar. "Brother Xiaobai, what are you usually busy with?" Zhang Lingling asked. Speaking of which, since they got acquainted with Meng Ze, they really didn't know what Meng Ze was doing now, and they all knew that they had quit their previous jobs. I now arrange my little brother to run errands, dig and mine every day," Meng Ze said. You're fooling me, aren't you?" Zhang Lingling looked suspicious. "Love to believe. If you don't believe it, you don't believe it." Meng Ze is not used to it. "Is the company abroad?" Zhang Lingling remembered the kind of reagent she had used before. Since Xiao Baige specifically said that the source needs to be kept secret, it is estimated that it is not a normal channel, but I don't know if it has anything to do with Xiao Bai's company, and what he does is dangerous or not. "It's not just foreign, it's alien," Meng Ze said. "Africa, you say? 35. Then, little white brother, you won't be in any danger, right? I heard it's messy over there," Zhang Lingling said worriedly. Luo Wei, who was originally just watching her girlfriend chatting with Meng Ze, also became nervous. "I'm in China, and I don't go out. What danger can there be? Really a Chinese police vegetarian?" Meng Ze gave her a foolish look. "Brother Xiaobai, although you say so, you always feel that it is still not very safe. Can you not do this?" Luo Wei said worriedly. "Mining companies, it's normal to be remembered, so occasionally there will be fires or something, but it's all in the mine, not in the country, it's okay," Meng Ze reassured. AKA, who has an unknown space-time node, is also speechless, can describe the interstellar war as a mining company fire. "If you let those commanders of the Imperial Federation know, I don't know if it will kill him zero." Listening to Meng Ze say this, Luo Wei was relieved. "That little white brother, you promise me that you must not go out, just stay in the country. If this work cannot be done, then we will not do it." Looking at the girl's pleading eyes, Meng Ze agreed. A job that was casually fabricated, thinking about getting an abnormal overseas channel for himself, and the others didn't think so much at all, but unexpectedly made Vivi so worried, which made Meng Ze feel a little guilty. "It really can't be done, and after a while, I said that the company was robbed and I was unemployed again. As for the problem of money, it is easy to solve. Forge an account for speculating in stocks or futures, and casually conjure up billions of dollars, and this should be AKA's good play." AKA, although I think you are praising me, why do you let me wipe your ass again? 39. AKA decided to suck a little more on Meng Ze tonight to make up for it. In the following time, several people did not mention the work again. Just eat snacks and chat together, watch TV. Not to mention, there is really a warm feeling of home, but there is one more person. Lunch was made by Zhang Lingling, and Luo Wei was a vegetable in this regard, and could only help wash the vegetables. Meng Ze. Meng Ze is responsible for watching the girls cook. The taste of the meals was good and Meng Ze gave it a very high rating. "Brother Xiaobai, do you want such a beautiful girl?" Zhang Lingling winked at Meng Ze and pretended to discharge Meng Ze. Meng Ze pretended to be entangled, thought for a while, and said, "I want." Before Zhang Lingling's smile fully bloomed, Meng Ze continued, "Otherwise, you can come to my house as a nanny, Vivi, and I don't know how to cook." Poof. Luo Wei laughed so hard that the rice squirted out. Everyone was in a hurry again. After eating, Meng Ze went to wash the bowl 3.5 and sat down on the balcony. Ignoring Zhang Lingling's astonished eyes, Meng Ze held the shy Vivi in her arms. "Brother Xiaobai, you. Keep an eye on me," Meng Ze said angrily. "It's private time. The nanny needs to avoid it." "Wei Wei, look at your family, it's too bullying." Zhang Lingling looked sad and indignant. Luo Wei was silent, and Meng Ze had a tone of a person who came over. Lingling, what a big deal, you will get used to it when you come a few more times. There is no need to come a few more times. After a few minutes, Zhang Lingling can basically ignore the two of you and me. Meng Ze regretted in his heart. If it weren't for Zhang Lingling being here today, alone with Wei Wei, the two were close and intimate. Go with the flow. Not to mention the third base. The second and a half bases would definitely have arrived. The girls stayed at Meng Ze's house until after 4 p.m. before Meng Ze sent them back. When parting, the reluctant girl took the initiative to kiss Meng Ze. To Zhang Lingling's surprise, her girlfriend is really getting bolder and bolder now. After separating from the girl, Meng Ze quickly rushed home and continued his mission. By the time the task was all completed, it was already 12 o'clock in the evening, and 2.5 million points had been gained. Then the quest refreshes, and Meng Ze continues to brush the quest with his little brother. Acre, how can the time in the interstellar world coincide with the blue star? It feels so weird. Meng Ze asked in his heart. You think too much. This is just sensory synchronization. Your human sense of time is too easy to deceive. How do you know that the 240 hours you spend in the interstellar world are really 240 hours? Will there be such a coincidental time ratio of 10 to 1 with the blue star? How many times have you heard others in the interstellar world say that the date says the number of days? AKA felt that he should let Meng Ze know something, so he gave a more detailed answer to Meng Ze's question. I remember the Dream Corner overtaking said the time when the new district was open. Meng Ze now has a very good memory and immediately thought of one. Then are you sure that the length of the day he said and your day coincided? AKA asked rhetorically. Meng Ze was certainly not sure, but at this time he suddenly realized that perhaps it was the habit of the Blue Star people, and his subjective consciousness was too strong. Seeing that Meng Ze was a little depressed, AKA said with rare comfort, "Don't be sad, 0-5-year problem is a common disease of the planet race. And even the civilized race that has been in the interstellar era for a long time cannot be completely avoided. In the interstellar era, there are countless planets, and the time of each planet is different, and the only accurate is the cosmic clock, but it takes a very advanced civilization to touch this. I have corrected your view of time, and there is no problem with it according to your own habits, but communicate with people, less long time scale. The time you mentioned before, I have all corrected it for you." 99. Meng Ze then knew that AKA was doing so much behind his back. Thank you, Acre. No, to help you is to help myself. When the task was completed, it was only 9 o'clock in the morning. As Meng Ze's fleet grew larger, so did the time it took to get the mission. The higher-level quest Meng Ze didn't dare to touch and switched to a single-player mission, which turned out to be synchronized with the difficulty of the team mission. Immediately dismissed Meng Ze's idea of picking up the leak. However, the 2-day mission gained 5 million points, and Meng Ze's void floating island expanded by a large area, and now the top plane diameter has reached 2,770 kilometers. The area of the circle, the larger the diameter, the greater the area added by the same diameter. Don't look at the fact that the diameter has only increased by 770 kilometers now, but the area of the void floating island has almost doubled. Meng Ze had to arrange for a continued increase in the number of heavily increased defensive structures. However, Meng Ze spends the most is the super-large electromagnetic railgun, although this thing has not fired a single shot so far, but just looking at the hundreds of thousands of attack power data on the paper, I feel a sense of relief. And the power of the electromagnetic gun is mainly limited by the electromagnetic force, although the electromagnetic force does not dare to say that the strength is unlimited, but how high the upper limit is, anyway, Meng Ze does not know. Therefore, the power of the electromagnetic gun will be increased in the future according to the improvement of energy efficiency and level. After dealing with these things and arranging the production of battleships, Meng Ze returned to Blue Star to catch up on sleep. AKA did what he said and did the task of reinforcing his space-time nodes for 2 days together, so Meng Ze slept for more than 10 hours. When Meng Ze woke up, he was shocked that he had slept for so long. Although he doesn't know the specifics, Meng Ze knows that it is probably Aker's ghost. But Akka has always known the proportions and never dropped the chain when it was critical, and Meng Ze didn't think much, just thought that AKA had some needs. Meng Ze's ideas are basically transparent to AKA, which makes AKA feel that he has gone too far. Entering the interstellar space, drinking drinks replenished physical strength and energy. Meng Ze saw the correspondence of the Phantasy Star night glow. Looking at the time, fortunately, it was not long. It was just over 10 hours ago. The communication was sent and picked up in a matter of seconds. "Big guy, what are the instructions?" Meng Ze asked. "Meng Ze, what the hell are you doing every day? Why isn't it there?" Dream Star Yahue's face is not good looking. Although it has been many times, it is still very angry. "Big guy, no way. There is really something. Besides, here, I have nothing to do for the time being. The task is completed, the production is arranged, and the upgrading of science and technology is also in order," Meng Ze said helplessly. "Mission accomplished? What do you mean?" Ignoring Meng Ze's complaints, Dreamstar Nightglow frowned and asked, "It's just done, and I can't beat it up." "No, tell me what tasks you did?" Dreamstar Nightwe was puzzled. 10 extremely difficult team missions, then 10 super difficult tasks that the points system didn't have, and then there were more difficult ones. "I guess I couldn't beat it, so I gave up for the time being," Meng Ze said. Fantasy Star Glow felt that what he heard was not a mission system as Meng Ze said, and he had never heard of a mission system other than a mission system. "Show me the mission video." The war videos and mission videos of the interstellar world do not need artificial storage at all. As long as they have experienced it, they will remain in the brain. The scientific and technological level of the Imperial Federation does not have any problem of insufficient storage space. Meng Ze immediately asked G-Brain to extract the mission video and send it to Dream Star Nightglow, and said at the same time, "Big guy, help me see what 683 things are in this mission. It's too fierce. If it weren't for the large number of my fleet, I really couldn't beat it." Dreamstar Nightlight ignored Meng Ze and directly opened the mission video sent over. Because Meng Ze sent the most recent, the nearly 15,000 space assault ships, which made the eyes of the Dreamstar Nightglow jump. It's not that he hasn't seen more, tens of millions of warships have seen it. The problem is that if memory serves, Meng Ze has only been fighting for 2 days, and it is all mysterious to produce so many battleships in such a short period of time. How many spaceship yards would have to be built and how many resources would have to be invested? For a while, even Dreamstar Nightglow was a little jealous of Meng Ze. This guy is really too rich. If he develops to the 6th level, it is difficult to say in the outside world. In the interstellar world, he is definitely first class and powerful, Dreamstar Night Glowing Heart said. Because it was a team task, Dreamstar Night, we also paid attention to the situation of other members. The result is special. I searched for a long time, but I didn't find it. Finally, I asked Meng Ze and finally found 2 transport assault ships the size of dust in a corner of the video. What a special thing. Dreamstar Nightglow's face jumped a few times, and his expression almost didn't tighten.
Thank you for watching Mystic Realms Recap. Please like, share, and subscribe. Have a great day.